Lack of tummy time, head lag, hypotonia. Which came first, chicken or the eggs? Guys, okay, if I've not taught you anything, you have to post videos. The open conversations that people have, I hate to tell you, the answer is yes to everything, right? And also the connotation of don't worry about it does not happen in this group. I'm not here to find fault with any child. I'm here, and we're all here for optimal development, right? And when your child, if you're using words like can't do or hate tummy time at 5 months of age, Houston, we have a problem. So, you know, it doesn't matter you had lack of tummy time. It doesn't matter that you have hypotonia. It doesn't matter you've had birth trauma, no trauma. You've got to start today to help your child move better. But first of all, to get a plan on how to move better, you've got to understand what your child is doing to organize movements. So first of all, no baby hates tummy time. They can't do it. This whole big thing, if they could figure it out, well, 5 months, if they haven't figured it out, the boat sailed. So we've got to stop that conversation. I know back in the day, things have changed dramatically with children. We now have a third of our children with special needs, and I can guarantee you in 10 years, every family is going to have a child with it that's special. That's not the way it should go, not on my watch, and I'm doing everything I can to stop that. You have to understand what a milestone is. So when a child has a lack of head lag or lack of tummy time, the combination is there with a problem. Now, tone does not create movement. Little old ladies can go to the store just fine. They don't have core strength, and they're bringing home the groceries. It's not about core strength. If you have a baby with core strength, then yes, you're having conversations of cerebral palsy. So, and yes, there could have been an interruption, but guys, you don't know a lot, and you shouldn't know a lot, because they could have had a stroke in utero. And I'm not here to be Debbie Downer. I'm just saying a lot of things can happen with your child. Could have had a seizure, could have had or nothing at all, and this is how they're presenting. So at 1 month, that's why I want to get back to time-dictated development. In 1 month, you should have tummy time. What your husband was probably seeing with the tummy time, thinking it was cruel, because again, there was already a problem, right? You should never have a baby. Sorry. I'm just getting back to my studio, guys. I was in Canada. You should never have a baby that hates tummy time. This whole thing where they can't get the head up, they're crying, you'll start seeing the butt coming up. Already, this is going into failed milestone attempts. Babies don't do anything that's difficult or that hurts them. So if tummy time is difficult, they'll avoid it. They'll avoid it by, hey, I'm crying, I'm in distress. Tummy time should never look like the head is going up and down, right? Bobbing for apples. And I'll put it this way so you can see it, right? So you should never see this kind of situation, head going up or head trying to come up. This whole big, and then what do parents do? And all the physio, they sit there and prop their baby's arms like they're going to do that. You try and do this and lift your head up. It's not easy. Why should a baby be able to do it? The whole reason their arms are out like this is for weight transfer. This is a pre-crawl, right? And the reason, too, when you're saying babies used to all figure it out, well, babies used to sleep on their bellies. In 1992, they switched that to put all babies on their back. I get it, we don't want SIDS to happen, but this really affects development. So, again, supervised sleeping, supervised tummy time. But a baby's tummy time, you should almost see like an X where their heads are going up and down, so they can go in and out of sleep. This is tummy time right in the beginning. But guess what? When you're doing that, it's like a pre-crawl, right? All of development's happening, guys, right now. So when you're missing tummy time at a month, you're really missing, that's when you're calling me up saying, my kid doesn't crawl right. Well, I can tell you, right, we've got missed milestones, and this is why I want to do all of that. So that's what tummy time should look like. So if a baby is like this, but a baby especially butt up, I can tell you right now, I'm not even going to do a head lag because they won't be able to do it. When the pelvis isn't kicking in, so the hierarchy of tummy time, at 1 month, your baby is doing this, going in and out kind of thing. That's tummy time. No distress, and they're just here. They can go in and out of sleep. By 2 months, you're starting to see pelvis down, the baby's starting to come up, and they're going, and now they're trying to focus because 2 months they're looking at you, but they're starting to try and see what else they can see. okay? By 3 months, rolling over happens, but rolling over happens, now they're here. Again, what you're starting to see is a really big weight transfer from hand to hand because you're getting ready for airplane and pubic bone strike. At 4 months, you're seeing the airplane where they can go up, they can reach for a toy, they can cross midline for a toy, right? But what they're also doing here is what's a pubic bone strike, where they come up, what some people think of as STNR, but they come up and they're actually going to slam their pubic bone here. And that's what also gets the tongue to come out of the mouth. The language and feeding skills are just very immature, but start to happen. That's about 4.5 to 5 months are significance of tummy time. When your baby is doing all that kind of thing, I can tell you right now, if you go to do that, you're also going to get a head lag response. First of all, I've done just countless videos on this lately. No one gets up like this. It's not a functional movement. Head lag is not an indicator of development. Head lag is another milestone that's failing, but it's not an indicator, right? But pediatricians like to use this because babies get that. But the problem with head lag, if a baby has CP, guess what? They're doing this and they're crunched to all get out, and you're missing the symptoms. There's other key evaluations like the newborn movement assessment that should be done way before this kind of thing. And yes, you might have hypotonia. Hypotonia is, which nobody's mentioning, could be genetics. It could be a family thing. But again, babies are meant to actually have low tone. They're meant to have big old bellies, Buddha bellies. If your baby has six-pack abs, I'm more concerned for your baby, and especially if they start to crunch. When you start seeing the head, this is the midline, that's why the mark on the head, just get stuck in midline, right? We have concerns. So at 5 months of age, if you're not doing the tummy time, you've got to do the tummy time course. You've got to do your newborn movement assessment, but you also have to post a video so I can see if there's other things going on like vision, genetics, or something like that, or something that might have happened in birth, midline asymmetries. There's a lot that goes into this, and I get it that parents in general, it's not that you shouldn't know it, but you shouldn't know it, right? We should have a professional establishment around the world, not just me, a professional establishment that understands what true development is, time-dictated development is, and what is needed to help your baby. But until that happens, I'm going to keep doing this, and we will go from there. But please, guys, please, do not compare ever your baby to somebody else, right? Unless someone is there evaluating your child, and this is either a good video, or a couple of videos, or physically in person. And I mean evaluating like I just did to touch your babies. But hearsay and genetics, or generic questions and so forth, oh, no. And I won't let it happen here in the group because it's not fair. You're not getting the help you need. It's not optimal. If someone says don't worry about it, that's not optimal. Right? And it's sort of like the old saying goes, don't take business advice for someone who doesn't own a business. And I'm not saying that people aren't here with the kindest and greatest attention. They really are, right? That's why they're here. But please, 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 I know infant development used to be a lot different, but in 2004, even the U.S. government changed the standards and dumbed it down for babies because they were seeing a general concern for development. So instead of saying, what's the problem, they just changed it and made development, I wouldn't say easier. It's not easier, it's incorrect. The reason you didn't know tummy time was important because it's not a milestone in the U.S. government. It's considered an activity. Well, that activity now will affect crawling and a lot of other milestones, including reading and writing. And it's important, but it needs to happen your first days of life. It's not to say that it didn't happen and it's a do-over. We've got to get those movements into the system. At 5 months old, your child should be ready for independent sitting, right? And I'm not trying to say is your baby's not ready, but the foundational skills need to be there. And that's why we have the Fast Start for Optimal Development. It's a program, starts your tummy time rolling over, and it starts putting you through the key sequences that need to happen for your child and to help you get your child to where they need to be. Worry is not a good place for you to be in because it doesn't help you get your child in where it needs to be. And that's what we try to do, take the worrying out of parenting. So again, post your videos and then I can go through step by step. Thanks.